talking.
I'm about to. Hold on. I gotta fucking change my
Hey, dude, I'm gonna come in just like that.
What up, guys? We are here for a little bit of a drive with my homie, rapper, actor, and car enthusiast, Steve Ellis.
I also rap.
He does rap and former really well. So we're here at Newcomb's Ranch just for a few photos, but I'll put some dash cam footage into the drive. It's been absolutely amazing. Last time I was up here, I was in the R32 GTR. Far better car for up here than the Supra. The Supra is definitely not set up to be driving up here, but we're up here for some photos and taking it a bit easy, but still a super fun drive. See, Steve's got the 370Z Nismo. I got this. Is it a 350Z? I thought it was a 370Z Nismo. Well, can't all be winners, but you know, so.
Look, you can't trust this man. He don't even know 350.
I don't know any cars made after 1999, so that's all right. But yeah, Newcomb's Ranch, really famous spot up here. So here's some dash cam footage. We're at the next turnout. You can see it's a little bit foggier up here. Supposedly there's snow and ice up ahead, so I think this is about as far up as we're gonna go. But car's looking good. We're getting some awesome shots, some sick footage. Got some other people here with us. We've got a little Z gang, red car gang, BMW M2. So again, straight fog. Good from right here. What's he about to do?
A few moments later.
Alright guys, so we're back over here at Steve's. Just came out of the canyons. So super sick drive. I learned a lot of things about my Supra, like it doesn't handle as well as the GTR, which I knew going into all of this. But definitely
you got the Supra over the GTR. Why?
Oh man,
do you remember
it's like
what
a
you
childhood.
told me? Do you remember what you? No. Do you remember what you like? The Supra is the superior car.
Listen, I mean. So for me, the Supra was like a childhood dream car kind of thing. The GTR, I didn't really come into until later in life, but I mean, the Supra, it's like it checks a list for me. So anyhow, the GTR, far superior in the canyons than the Supra, that's for sure. But definitely learning a few things that I need to change about the car, handling wise. But what we're gonna talk about right now is some things that we saw up there. And people misbehaving, people not doing things right, Steve. So,
man, you know,
I'm new to this kind of whole scene. So I've been up in the canyons a handful of times. I've been to other canyons for some cruises, but really going to Newcomb Ranch, as Steve's saying, he got me into it. So pretty much every time I've gone is with him, with the exception of a few times. But
are you on my road without me?
Yeah, am I on your road without you?
Wow.
Sometimes. But what I've learned from him, and a few things I want to ask you, just for people that may be watching this and are like, oh sick, I want to bring my car up there.
I mean, here's my thing. It is a public road, and that's a lot of things I talk to some people who go on drives with us all the time. I said, you can't go 100 on a public road. There's just too many variables. You could have gravel in the road, you could have animals, you have other traffic, hikers, bikers. There's too many unknown variables on a public road than say on a racetrack. You know, no opposing traffic's coming back at you, or shouldn't be, or anything like that is out of the way when you're on a track.
True. Yeah. So I mean, I want to address two things that I saw. One, kid in the BMW trying to drift around the corner in front of a crowd of people. Right. He spun his stuff out. I have a picture of it.
Hit the wall.
I may or may not drop in here, but
did it hit the wall?
Yeah. He smacked the wall of the canyon, then bounced off and went straight into the guardrail in oncoming traffic while there were cars coming, cyclists, motorcycles behind him. And then, you know, the other thing we saw was a driver in the group ahead of us. I mean, may or may not have been in the wrong, definitely got pulled over, which you saw there at the end. And what he did was he passed when he shouldn't have passed, basically, is what I think it came down to. And I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Is doing that kind of stuff ruin it for everybody, or a cop's pretty chill, or?
You know, I mean, the cops have been very lenient. The thing that makes Angeles Crest a unique situation, it's not like your typical freeway. It's a single road that goes almost from just a point A to a point B. And on that road alone, hundreds of people will die. Bicyclists, motorcyclists, guys thinking they're too hot and they go into a corner and they have brake fade, or their tires just don't grip and they fly off the mountain and nobody finds them for like months later. Like, this is all reality. Like, if you look up Angeles Crest on YouTube, there's tons of videos of car accidents happening. There's a gold Subaru that goes off. There's a BMW that goes over. Like, it's just endless because people come up there and they think that they're badass with their reclined seat, driving one hand on the steering wheel, you know, flooring it. You're going to end up, you set yourself up for failure.
I mean, the kid that almost lost it, well, that did lose it in that BMW, I mean, was maybe 100 feet away from a brand new Aventador SVJ Roadster. I mean,
and then not even just the car. I mean, you got to think, like, if that had gone really bad, like, that car could have came into y'all, like, and the people.
Well, exactly. Or he could have gone over the edge very easily. I mean, so
I mean, my thing is like this. When I go on that road, I would say 100% is like, 100% is driving on a racetrack, being able to take a proper apex because you don't have to worry about oncoming traffic, you know, crossing the double yellow lane. Like, that's how you get to 100%, which is not advised on any public road. So when I go drive, I usually keep it about 40-50. And 40-50 gives me enough time to be like, I can have fun. I can, you know, I know the road enough, I can slide around, but I don't cross the double yellow line for anything. No reason. If you're going so fast that you are sliding into the other lane, you need to slow down. Or you need to look at how your car is set up, because when you get to that point, that's when accidents happen, you know, deaths happen, and it's a real thing. You know, be mindful of the condition of your car if you go up on the roads. Make sure your brakes work. I can't express that enough, because I've seen cars at lookouts and fucking brakes are on fire because they were coming down the hill and their brake system was inadequate.
Right. Well, even while I was driving the Supra, we were with a group of people, and I was pretty open with you and the other people in the group that, hey, you know, I'm not necessarily comfortable entirely with the Supra yet, because there's upgrades I haven't made. I haven't, you know, tuned the suspension to where it needs to be. I haven't put the braces in to stiffen up the chassis. I haven't upgraded my brake kit yet, which I have.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to putting it on the car. It's getting powder coated right now. Those are things that you need to know. I mean, I knew I had brand new tires on it. I trust my wheels, I trust my tires, I trust my coilovers. But again, you know, part of it is realizing that while other people that have a car set up for that, you know, are going to push it, if you know yours isn't, then it's cooler to not push it than it is to push it and be the guy that something happens to or causes something to happen for somebody else.
Or you want to try to stunt,
yeah,
you're on two narrow lanes
with the edge that drops straight down.
Yeah, like the highest point up I think is like 5,000 something feet.
And when I was up there in the GTR with Eric from Race Service, it's different, right?
I mean, you're outside, you're looking at
that car is set up for exactly that kind of driving.
Yeah.
So I felt comfortable pushing that car.
Yeah.
You know, but the Supra, not set up for that kind of driving, and it's just knowing that difference. If you're going to go up there, know what your car can do before you get up there and start to push it. there you have it from the man who drives up there all of the time.
So Brian's gonna get his car out of this parking lot mode, and he's gonna get some good suspension on it. He's gonna come driving.
That's true. The car is in parking lot mode right now. It's a show car, but I want to set it up to drive in the canyons. So we talked about that earlier. Maybe some changes I should make. I definitely, more than any time ever driving the Supra today, felt the changes I really need to make.
You know, for a car that you will drive spiritedly or hit the track occasionally, you know, whatever.
The Supra needs to stay daily drivable.
So yeah, so like I said, like polyurethane.
Not that I'm going to daily drive it, but I want a car that I can get in and drive comfortably, have people in the car with me.
So no bucket seat, no roll cage?
You know, something that I can take around and drive and not feel like...
We pull the AC out?
No. No.
So yeah, so polyurethane bushings, and you don't even have to do, if you want it, the softer of this performance driving, I wouldn't do the solid aluminum bushings at the connect points. You could do polyurethane there. If you wanted, you could do those solid and then do polyurethane bushings. Like, it's kind of however you want to do it. Options. So.
All right, well, tomorrow morning, I'm going back to the shop at Toprank. I'm gonna sit down with Javi, who knows all sorts about setting these kind of cars up for this specific type of driving. We're gonna go over some things that I need to order like immediately. Let's go visit Javi. I'm leaving that in. All right, guys, we're back at the office at Toprank, and as you saw earlier, got a little bit of a feel for how the car holds up in the canyons, which was overall not great handling wise. So definitely need to make some adjustments and some improvements there. I've got Javi with me here. Javi knows all sorts of stuff about this and had some good pointers for me about what I should do with the Supra. So we're gonna go over that right now and hopefully get some of these parts ordered. So Javi, what do you think I should do?
And invest in something like sway bars, give it a drive, see how it feels, how your turning is, and then you go from there. You can adjust with alignment, you can adjust with camber, toe, caster. Usually when you're canyon running, you want to start with, you know, good tires, good brakes, and decent suspension. If you're on a canyon road that has, you know, embankment turns that are like, you know, first, second, sometimes third gear, you're gonna want more camber because you can get away with it on the tight turns. And depending, like, let's say you go on like Zusa, where it has a lot more straights, you're gonna want, you know, less camber because you won't need it as much because it's not aggressive, tight turns, narrow road. You have more of a level road. Time attack cars will tend to have toe in. When I used to do a lot of canyon running, I actually had zero toe, and most people want like, you know, 0.5 or a degree of toe in. And like drifting, they want toe out. So it's more of like doing alignment, have your suspension set up, dial in your dampening, see how you like it, see if you can adjust it with dampening after a few runs. If not, go back to the alignment shop, add more camber depending on how your turn-in is. It's all a variable, but if you're like committed, you could probably get it dialed in over like, you know, a couple months.
If I was gonna purchase one thing right now,
that would make a difference in noticeable? Right. Harness bar, since your car is quite big.
All right, harness bar, let's start with that. Cool, all right, thanks man.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Thanks for checking out today's video. I'm super excited to get started on putting some components into the car that help improve the handling. I know it's never gonna be like an R32 GTR, but I'm gonna try to get as close as I can for canyon driving. So if you have any suggestions, recommendations, if you're building a Supra or you built a Supra and you know exactly what I should do, or at least have some good insight on what is gonna help, all suggestions are welcome at this point. I cannot wait to get this back in the canyons and handling better than ever. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and stay tuned for some improvements on this thing.